Can people hear me? I'm testing the sound. Let me know if it's too loud or if you could hear me at all. I'm like traumatized from the first stream I ever did where I had like issues with sound, so just let me know right off the bat if you're having trouble hearing me or if it's too loud or whatever. So I'm just gonna wait until people start pouring in and letting me know. If any one of you, just let me know if you could hear me. Hello everybody. We've got Sean, we got Crevette, we got Jenna, Julio, Blood Moon, a fellow Dany. Just somebody let me know if like you could hear me okay. I don't want to be like talking to a wall. Maybe you can hear me and I'm just being paranoid. I'm just like waiting. Everyone's just saying hi. Okay, well. Okay, thank goodness. Somebody. Alright, so there's a bit of a delay, I guess. Which is okay. This is fine. It's gonna be, alright. Cool. Okay, so. Hi, everybody. Welcome. It's been a while. Some of you may be new here. Last time I did a live stream, I had 20k subscribers. Today we're nearly at 75k, which is pretty nuts. Yeah, cool, everyone can hear me, nice. So I just thought, like, you know, it's been a while, and to see if I could, you know, test the waters, maybe try to make a point to do these more regularly to, you know, get to know my audience and stuff. And also, you know, I thought it'd be fun to try out the super chat system too. So I'm gonna be doodling whatever you want for whatever you wish to pay. Because, I don't know, some of you might be aware, but I've been unemployed since August. This isn't to say this is my only reason for streaming, because it's not. I've been finding other means of getting work, but I thought it'd be a fun kind of thing to do. I mean, I'm gonna be doodling regardless, so I don't know if that question's directly to me or somebody in the chat. Where are you from? I'm from Montreal. It's a city in Quebec, in Canada. That was probably not directed to me, but I answered it anyway. All right. Okay, so the rules for the doodles is, you know, nothing lewd, keep it PG, nothing offensive. Otherwise, I'm pretty open to drawing pretty much anything within reason. Anyway, I'll let you know if I can't do it. But anyway, I'll also be answering questions if you guys have anything. This video is sort of also serving as kind of an update video, I guess. So, yeah. Because, I mean, not everybody sees the community posts, I realize, and not everybody... It's hard to sort of keep everybody up to date through, like, social media alone, because not everybody follows me on other platforms, and not everybody uses every platform, and it's hard to really gauge what's the best method of, like, you know, keeping you guys informed. But anyway, so I figured I would do it through a stream. Let's see. How's it going, Dany? Going pretty good. You know, trying not to let being without a job get me down. I've been working... Like, the silver lining of the situation is basically I have had more time to work on the Wolfsong prequel, so that's been nice. But, you know, try not to stress about things, but otherwise I'm pretty dandy. Doodle a smiley face. Can you doodle a pug doing a kung fu? I can. But I'm gonna be doodling for super chats mostly. But if, like, you know, obviously I'm gonna do it regardless. But if you guys wish to give me money too, that's great. But you know what? I'll do a pug doing, I don't know if I'm understanding this correctly, doing kung fu? A pug doing kung fu, okay. Let's do that anyway. I've drawn pugs before. A pug doing kung fu? I don't know. I'm gonna just do a pug in like a pose, I guess. Pugs have like big eyes. It's gonna be hard to draw and keep track of the chat at the same time, so forgive me if I'm late replying to things, but I'm just gonna do a silly looking... I'm like going without a reference, I don't know if that's wise. And pugs have like ears like this. Actually, maybe a bit bigger. Yeah, this is gonna be a pretty interesting stream, I can tell right now. Or not. I don't know. Maybe I'll just... I feel like he's gonna end up dabbing. That's what's gonna happen. Because I don't know any kung fu. So... let's see. Maybe like a kick or something? Man, I need like... okay. I can't believe I'm gonna look up a reference for kung fu poses. Like... okay. Kung fu pose. I'm gonna get stuff like Kung Fu Panda, I know it. Just had to be specific. Okay, what's doable for a pug? None of these poses, but we'll try anyway. Crane style? Okay, wait, I'll look that up. Okay, let's... this is gonna... okay. Wait. Alright. Wait, I'm gonna answer a question. What's your next project? I'm still working on the Wolf Song prequel, but I'm also working on a comic. Sort of, well, a Wolf Song comic, right? That's sort of is gonna go differently than how the animations have been going. Maybe it'll be a bit more on the romantic side, maybe? We'll see. Can you do a little girl? I mean, sure. I'll finish this pug first. Okay. So... okay, crane. Alright, this is gonna be like the worst. I didn't think that this is the kind of thing I'd be drawing today, but here we go. Alright, and then the foot. Nope. Okay. Man. How to draw feet? Okay. Also, just a warning, I have dogs, so you might hear them bark every now and then if they get, you know, if something triggers them, so to speak. This is like... this is so silly. I hope everybody can see this. Are you a fan of horror movies? If so, who's your favorite slasher? You know, I like horror, but I'm not that big on slasher films. So if we can go with like a horror movie, maybe Creatures. I would say recently I really like The Babadook, obviously. Memes aside, pretty good concept for a you know, pretty good creature concept. It's except, you know, obviously if you see the film, it's not quite a creature. But if I had to pick a slasher, I guess I'd have to go with Freddy. I find he's the most interesting. This is not a kung fu pose. I'm doing my best, okay? Just, here he is. Here's like a really weird looking pug doing a kung fu pose. Nice. Oh my god, bless you for giving me $5, lover of night. Lyco says about me, young child, maybe, I don't know, thought it would be cute. I've seen Scarlet as a child, so keep up the great work. Thanks. Thanks so much. Oh my god. Yeah, okay, I haven't drawn Lycos as a child. Wonder why? Wonder if that's something I'll explore in the comic. Probably not, but we'll do it for fun. Let's see. You know, I'm gonna get rid of me. Oh no, I drew on the same layer. Amateur mistake. Okay. Well, I'll just erase me then. No big deal. Gonna erase me. There I go. So Lycos as a child, I can imagine he didn't always have that same hair. I know some in anime, like child versions of anime characters, they always kind of have like the same hair but maybe shorter. Or like, it's just they're like on a tinier head. And, you know, maybe that's what I'll do because I haven't given it a whole lot of thought. But I can imagine he'd be like... Okay, so you have... I'm actually going to pencil this first. Is this? No, it's still black. I'm also using Clip Studio Paint, which I don't use a whole lot, so bear with me. So Lycos, child Lycos would be... Children typically have bigger heads when you draw them. So... Oh yeah, and bigger ears. So he'd have like these... Ears like this. And his hair... I'm just gonna keep track of the chat. Hold on. I'm gonna be pausing and looking at the chat a whole lot. This reminds me of my dog. Thanks. I'm glad you guys like the pug, even though it looks derpy as fuck. I should probably not cuss. I'm sorry. The wolf song reminds me a bit of Daria Cohen's vampire series. How do you think the wolf and the count would act towards each other? I feel like they've got a lot of the same energy. I think they would get along. For the most part. I could see them being friends. I love that series, by the way. Like, Daria's stuff is really awesome. Hello. Hello to everybody who just joined. My most common mistake while drawing, doing everything on the same... Yeah, I mean, I've been doing this for, like, ever, and I still fuck up. It's still like, well, at least, so, you know, I didn't get so far in where everything was just on one layer, then I'd have to erase or just copy and paste it on a new layer. It would have been a whole mess. Ooh, a message that was retracted. I wonder what that was. Oh, and there goes my dogs. I don't know if you could hear them. I'm not the only one who starts off the circle. Yeah, you know, that's the thing. That's the key, is to start with a circle. Do you like a hat in time? I don't know what that is, but I'll look it up, I guess. Please greet me and I can die and paste. Oh, my bad. Hi, Julio. I thought I did like a blanket greeting for everybody, but I guess, you know, I'll try to greet everybody individually if I can. Okay, now I'll continue this. Okay, so his hair... Maybe his hair would be like a... Oops. Okay. And he'll have these little side tufts. Like really tiny ones. I don't know how young. I guess this is like child we're doing. Like maybe even younger than how I depict... Because Scarlet in the prequel is like about 10. Right now, this child version of Lycos is definitely younger than 10 with the way I'm drawing him, but... And, let's see. He's gonna have big, sassy eyes, because even as a child, full of sass, I imagine. Or maybe he was like a really cute kid and like really nice, and then just, you know, some events happened that made him super jaded. I don't want to give away too much of what I'm planning for, you know, the comic and stuff, but let's just make him sassy just for the fun of it. Or just, you know, kind of bored looking. And he's got pretty thin eyebrows. I give my dudes very feminine eyebrows. I don't know why. Just how it be, I guess. Let's see. He's gonna have a little nose. And it's gonna be pouty. Oh my goodness. Yes. I hope it's not gonna be too small on the stream. I hope you guys can all see it. Maybe I should zoom in. That's a good idea, Dany. How do I do that? Oh, there we go. Let's zoom in. And just check on the chat. Your dogs sound cute. Oh, I'm glad you think so. Let me see if I'm just gonna make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay. I love dogs so much. Yeah, man, dogs are great. Sorry if you've already answered this, but what was your inspiration behind... Whoa, 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 whoa. Just going by fast now. What was your inspiration behind Lycos' design? I did answer this, but I'll be happy to answer it again. I don't know if it's going to be, like, exactly verbatim how I said it before, but basically, he's sort of like... I think I described him as... He's kind of like if Sebastian from Black Butler and Tomoe from, like, Kami-sama Kiss, like, had a love child, and that love child decided to, like, you know, that was, like, happened to be a wolf and, like, just as, like, a classy hobo. I think that's how I described him, but ultimately I kind of just, design-wise, I wanted him to sort of be, kind of resemble a wolf enough in a subtle way with his hair tufts, I guess. And I think I was going for, like, this kind of, like, elegant sort of, like, classy homeless man, I believe I said. So his inspiration came from, I guess, a couple of anime characters paired with what I guess what I wanted what I pictured when I, like, first heard the song, like, the wolf character to be, if that makes sense. Hold on. Okay. I like your pug. I've never been a fan of dogs. More of a cat person myself, but dogs are cute. Cats and dogs are both great, both valid. I also have a cat. Once I see this, I can rest in peace. Lycos wasn't a wolf boyo when he was a kid, was he? Nope. He was a person, human thing before, yes. I can words. What are your dogs' names? One, this tiny Yorkie, is named Batchy. The other one, a pretty big Boston Terrier named Biscuit. Both girls. Is this me or the video buffering up? You're not the only buffer. Oh man, yeah, my signal might be pretty bad. Oh, is it lagging? Oh, dang. Okay. I just lowered the quality and it's fine now. Oh, that super sucks. Wait, let me check on the quality of the stream. Stream status. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna be like that. My internet connection isn't the best. But hey, everything's a learning experience, right? It wouldn't be a stream of mine if at least one thing didn't go wrong. Okay, I'm gonna continue this boyo. Yeah, so Lycos was a human before something happened. He got cursed and became a wolf. And I'm not gonna, like, super get into it, I guess, because I don't want to give away too much. But yeah, that's kind of, if you look at the recent character redesign I did, or like an update character sheet, I posted it pretty much everywhere. There's human version of him, like adult human Lycos on there. Okay. So he's just like... yeah. I think next time I do one of these streams, I'm gonna get an assistant so I can draw and know what's going on in the chat at the same time. That'd be great. Okay. Okay. How's it having both cats and a dog in your house? How's their relationship? Pretty good. The key is, you know, introduce them, I guess, like, whether you have, like, I guess, a cat or a dog first. If you're bringing a new animal into the house, and they're really young, make sure to properly introduce them first. Like get them like all sniffing each other and all of that. And if your pet's temperament is good with other like animals, then you know it's pretty peaceful usually. But it could happen if say you have a dog that's an older dog and you introduce a new dog that's like the same age, they can get pretty territorial from my experience. But with these two dogs and this cat, it's been pretty swell. They chill together, they play together. It's pretty nice. Let's see. Could you do Lycos with cat ears? I could just slap on cat ears on this guy. I won't be lazy. I'll do that. Aw. I love you too, Amanda. I like your art style. It's really good. All I pretty much do is just draw on paper. Well, practice makes better. And I mean, drawing digitally doesn't necessarily mean your art's going to be like automatically a lot better, you know. Drawing on paper is like, you know, it's important and it's valid. But to get better, to develop your own style, you just got to keep drawing. Whether it's on paper or digitally, you're going to get there. If you were to put a theme song for your Wolf Song characters, what would be their theme songs? Oh my goodness. I haven't thought about that. Oh, you know what? I think I sort of have, well, I have certain songs that kind of, you know, I use as inspiration when I'm working on Wolfsong stuff, but I need to actually give that more thought. I don't know, maybe I'll make a post about it. Like maybe I'll make a playlist or something. But that's a good question. So cute. It's a fun connection between two bad connection. Okay. That's good. I'm Brazilian, I'm not understanding anything. Oh no! I'm sorry, I don't speak Portuguese. But thanks for tuning in anyway. Hopefully you could just enjoy what I'm drawing. I don't know if you're even understanding what I'm saying right now, but anyway. Thanks. I run a house that has 3 cats and a dog, and it's wild. They sleep together, but the dog thinks he's a cat. Yeah, that's another thing. I'm pretty sure my cat thinks she's like a puppy or something. But she's just like, she's kind of like very, she plays very aggressively, and she just like, I don't even think she's seen another cat yet. But that will be interesting when she does. Hey Dany, your animations inspire me so much to start animation myself, so I wanted to say thank you for, in a way, getting me off my butt and going to college. Oh, awesome! That's, you know what, that's the best kind of praise. Like, truly. I'm glad that, like, my work could inspire you to do things, you know? Like, that's the best praise ever, is when I hear people saying, like, that my thing inspired them to do the thing, you know? So, yeah, awesome. Right on. Okay, so Baby Lycos, I don't know if I'm going to do a full body. I think I'm just going to pencil him in for now. Maybe, how do I adjust the opacity on this layer? I'm like new to this completely, but when it comes to Clip Studio Paint, it's like I'm still sort of dabbling in it. I hope I get, you know, familiar with it enough that I could kind of drop Photoshop someday. But so far, yeah, we're getting there. Just gonna go over him, the blue. Yeah, I can imagine, despite how I drew him, he'd be probably a more cheerful child, and then as he got older, certain events have made him, maybe just life made him a bit more jaded. And yeah. And then, you know, we get the Lycos we know. Well, that and, like, you know, he gets cursed. I mean, anybody would be like, man, fuck this. Like, you'd have to be, like, very optimistic to still be like, you know what, this isn't so bad if you get cursed to be, like, this starving wolf, you know? It's just, like, compelled to eat people. I'm saying way too much. But anyway. I like your video for Oblivion by Grimes. That's one of my favorite videos. Oh, thank you. You know, I'm glad people like... I'm surprised at how many views it's gotten, how it's surpassed Wolfsong in views, and how, you know, people like it just as much or more, because I was so, like, not feeling great about that video initially, or I guess, yeah, I wasn't, like, in the beginning, because it wasn't finished, and it wasn't, like a lot of what I do wasn't what I wanted to be in the end, and I was just so, like, okay, I guess I'll share it anyway, because I spent months on it, right? And so it's really nice that people, even though it's, like, kind of a mess, people still, like, resonate with it and, like, enjoy it, you know? It's, yeah, it makes me feel a lot better about it. That's the case with, it kind of goes to show you that even if you're feeling like, wow, this is garbage, just kind of share it anyway, because you never know, other people will resonate with it, like it, love it, be inspired by it. Like, you really never know. So yeah, that would be like my main piece of advice to anybody, is just, especially when it comes to art, just do it anyway and share it anyway, because you never know. Will there be more Heidi content? Absolutely, eventually. I know I'm, like, really slow with everything, but hopefully, my plan is, get work, and then make a schedule, and try to figure out days when I could work on my own stuff, and days when I get to do paid work. Because initially, I was hoping Patreon would really take off, so that way I could just sort of make a living just working on these projects, but alas, I mean, I'm grateful for the patrons I have, but I have not been able to accumulate enough through there to make a living off of this stuff, so I kind of have to find a side hustle. So once I find a side hustle, then I feel like things will be a bit more streamlined, like I won't have to stress, and I'll be able to afford to work on this stuff. But yeah, in terms of Heidi, I have at first I was like with Wolfsong, I was like, nah, it doesn't need a sequel or anything, but it's just, that's it, that's all you're getting. But then I thought about it and I listened to a couple of songs, I'm like, damn, I can actually make a sequel with this. Like, I don't like to kill, like, my open-ended endings, but, you know, if you have, like, an idea, right, and you think it could work, then why not, right? And if people want to see more of those characters, then want to see what's next, then sure, I guess. So yeah, I think it won't be a prequel so much as, or maybe I have one prequel idea and one sequel idea, so we'll see what comes first. But first I need to finish the Wolfsong prequel, because, like, people have been waiting for that long enough. And eventually, you know, maybe I'll make a short Heidi comic if I have a good story idea. It's just a bit hard to think of a well, it's not hard to think of a narrative for Heidi, but it's just, I like how mysterious she is, I guess, and I don't want to, like, I don't know, maybe I'll figure something out. But yeah, definitely something more with Heidi in the future. Let's see. Why was he cursed, though? Well, that will be revealed in the comic. Paint cool? Thanks. Game better my art because I draw my favorite characters from anime. So far, I've drawn a few characters from My Hero Academia. Nice! Yeah, keep doing it. I mean, that's how I started, too. I started, like, just drawing characters I liked. I went through a phase in high school. Well, I guess I don't even know if I should call it a phase, because it was, like, so long, but all I was drawing was Gorillaz, like the characters from the band Gorillaz, because I was, like, so obsessed, right? And it was awesome because it got me to draw, right? But it was a bit of a detriment because, I mean, I found that I was trying to emulate Jamie Hewlett's style too much. And then when I tried to learn, you know, anatomy and stuff, and, like, you know, how to find my own style, it was a bit of a hindrance because his style is so, like specific, and it's not, obviously not anatomically correct. So you have to be careful with, like, I mean, learning through, you know, drawing your favorite characters and observing different styles and playing around with that is great, it's valid, but make sure to learn also the fundamentals too, because you don't want to, like, F yourself over, you know, when you do want to improve anatomy and you're kind of, like, stuck with, or, like, so used to just drawing things a certain way, you know? And that way you could also find your own style eventually too, by figuring out what you like to do, what kind of, like, eyes you like to draw, what kind of, like, you know, you find your own style through that. Just absorb as much as you can. Oh, I love Gorillaz. Yes! They're my favorite band still. But I was like, when I say I'm obsessed, I was obsessed. Like, I have a whole binder just full of, like, stuff of people's fanfics I would print and just keep them. And my friend and I would draw comics and write fanfics and just share them. It's a whole thing. Maybe I'll, like, one day share them, but it's like a little embarrassing, but still, I have fond memories of that stuff. And I should revisit them and draw them again someday. I'll be surprised if I actually still remember how to draw them, like, without a reference. My dog literally acts like a cat whenever I get... Whoops. Chat's moving. When I get close to her, she rolls on her back and starts overreacting cutely. And I say, "Aw, that's so sweet." Where can we find this Fable comic? It does not exist yet, but it will... I'm working on this, I guess, the script, as it were. I'm writing out the dialogue first and everything, and then I'm going to start doing it. But, yeah, because what I used to do back when I made comics, like, I don't know, like in high school and stuff, I kind of just made it up as I went along, and that's not really, I mean, that works for some people, but then you kind of get stuck, right? So I'm trying to plan it out first, and then do the thing. And it's not going to be very long. It's not going to be a lengthy comic. It's going to be like a one-shot sort of situation with 4 chapters covering each season. And it's going to be fully colored, and I'll probably put it up on Webtoon or something. But yeah, it'll be available to read for patrons first before everybody else. No. I love how he looks angry and it makes me... Yeah, he's just, like, so done with everything. Or yeah, I got requested to draw, basically baby Lycos. Or, like, child Lycos. I guess he might be, like, maybe 6 years old here. I guess with the way I drew him, maybe 6 or 7. So your drawings of Fire Emblem 3 houses. Out of the houses, which one is your favorite? Okay, it's hard to say. My first run, I went with Blue Lines for my first playthrough, and I enjoyed that quite a bit. And now I'm doing the Golden Deer route, and it's tough. It's tough to decide because it's like, it's hard when you're playing a different house and knowing what happens, you know, with the first route you do, because then you're like, oh, well, there's no way I could save this person, or there's no way, like, oh, I can't, you know, prevent this from happening, or, like, it's hard, because, like, Dimitri's still my boy, but, you know, Claude, like, he's best boy, and they're both, like, really up there. But yeah, in terms of houses, I am enjoying both. I'm gonna definitely play Black Eagles afterwards. I'm gonna be waiting for that DLC to come up first before I play Black Eagles, though. The one with Yuritsa's route, or I guess with Yuritsa is more of a, I guess, playable character, or there's something about his story, and I'm just really intrigued. Okay, if you have one superpower, what would it be? Flight, probably. But then again, you know what? Spider powers. Yeah, because Spider-Man has a good skill set. I think I'd enjoy that a whole lot. Are Scarlet and Lycos the same age? No. They are not. Not chronologically, and not physically either. There's quite a gap. Not a huge gap. Okay, well, I don't want to like get it too into it, but basically Lycos is kind of like immortal. That's sort of his deal, but physically he's more, I think he's closer to 20. He's closer to 20. I can't remember what age I gave him exactly. And Scarlet is like definitely later. She's like 16, 17ish. So there's a bit of a gap. But I mean, he's been like alive a lot longer than that. For, you know, curse reasons and all that. What do you like to draw? I like to draw women. If I could just be like very general, I like to draw women. Female characters are my jam. I like drawing creepy stuff. Yeah, and I like drawing fan art a whole lot. I like drawing, you know, like a lot of you, I like drawing my favorite characters and stuff. And my characters too. Although their designs are sort of constantly changing little by little with as my style changes. But yeah, just generally I like drawing women and female characters a lot. I remember my anatomy would look so weird, but I keep drawing myself. I remember that one time I spent like 5 hours drawing a character that I adore. Yeah, I mean, as long as you're having fun, right? That's what counts. If you're enjoying yourself, like, you don't want, like, if drawing's starting to feel like a chore, then you gotta kind of like step back a bit and like won't figure out why. But if you're having fun with it, who cares if it takes like 10 minutes or 5 hours, right? Unless you have a deadline, I guess. Then it matters. Where can I learn more about these characters? Tumblr's a good place. On my Tumblr, if you go to if you look in the hashtag wolf song, I believe it'll pop up. Like, everything that's related to wolf song will pop up. And my Tumblr is the same name, it's my same username as everywhere, it's Dany Darkly. And it should be the link should be in the description. Hello, Sarah. Are you ever gonna post a sketchbook tour type of video? Oh my god, you guys don't want to see my sketchbook. It's a mess. Like, maybe if one day I have a sketchbook that I don't completely hate everything in it. Like, but also, you know, some of you might be able to relate to this. Do you ever hyperfixate on a specific franchise and that's like all you draw? Like, it's just fan art of that for like weeks, and then it's like randomly you'll get some hands because you're like, oh yeah, I gotta practice some anatomy. And then it's like, and then it's just more of that, or it's just something completely different. My sketchbooks are a lot like that, where there's just pages of like, just the same fandom and just like a specific ship, and then it's like, oh, and here's some feet. Like, it's not exactly interesting, but I guess maybe one day I'll consider it if I don't completely hate what's in there. Or I'll just show what's good, the good stuff, and just ignore all the shittiness. I find the drawing girls is a bit easier, so I force myself to draw more males. Practice. Yeah, you know, it's true. Because the girls are also more fun to draw. You know, you get like the curves and everything, and like you could just, I don't know, it's very like, it's not as I don't know what the correct word would be. It's just more loose. I feel like with women I could just be more loose. With men it's like I have to kind of like, it's more not harsh per se, but I'm just way more focused on like, oh, muscles and shit, and like even if they're not muscular, like where the muscle placements are, and like, and my men tend to look feminine. So I mean, I gotta work on that too. But there was a time when I did like drawing male characters more than female characters, but it's somehow along the way, I guess as I practiced anatomy, I was like, wow, women, they're so fun. Does Lycos and Scarlet know each other from when they were kids? If so, I mean, Lycos has known Scarlet since she was 10. So, in a way... Okay. Girls are so easy to draw, but for men it's really... Yeah, I mean, but to each their own. Like, my dad's also an artist, and he prefers drawing male characters. And he has a hard time drawing women, so it's like, it's really, it really is a to each their own kind of situation. Hello, Big Barbie 11. Okay, so baby Lycos here. Yeah, next time for sure I do this, I'm going to get an assistant, so that way you're not just staring at the same drawing the whole time. But anyway, I'll just write Lycos age 6 question mark. That's what this is for anybody new that is going to come later. Okay. Because we're talking about drawing women a lot, I think I'm going to draw a girl. You know what? I'll just fuck it. I'm just gonna draw whatever. It's probably gonna be Heidi. Let's be real. Actually, out of all my original characters, I think Heidi is the most fun to draw. She's also really simple. Because, I mean, I had to keep her design simple for ease of animation and all that. And now that when I draw her, it's like, oh, thank God. Thank God I didn't add too much to her design. Because it's less, you know, it's kind of just easy, just, you know, bam, bam, bam. I don't like ever forget like how to draw her. Like sometimes with Lycos I'll forget like just how his hair is or where certain things are because he has a lot more elements to his design. But with Heidi it's just okay, headband up here, you got some bangs, big eyes. How should she be? Okay, in my periphery I can see the chat is moving. So I'm gonna look at what I missed. Will there be another being like Lycos in the series? Maybe. I don't want to give away too much, so I'll leave it at that. I liked Heidi, looks 12 to me. I love Heidi, oh my god, notice me. You've been noticed. I can't read your name, but you've been noticed. Thanks for the dual baby child Lycos. Well, thank you. Thank you for your patronage. I don't know what pose I'm gonna give her, but I think she'll just be like... Just be chilling, I guess. Oh, this is a lot of the process, by the way. This is the same thing when I'm animating. I'm just like, undo, undo, undo. And this is why it takes as long as it does. I don't know what, like... Also, okay, don't do as I do. Plan out your drawings. Like, plan out the whole composition before you get into it. Don't make it up as you go along like I'm doing, because then you kind of you get into problems like this where you're like, where's this drawing going? Does this anatomy make sense? I mean, after a while, if you draw a pose enough times, you can kind of just do that, but yeah, I think okay, let me look at the chat. Do you imagine if your character is a Volsung and Heidi got gender bend, what would your reaction to it? I can't remember if I know somebody gender bent Scarlet and Lycos before. That was cool to see. I don't think anyone's done that for the cast or the characters of Heidi. But yeah, I mean, that's cool. I mean, I enjoy any kind of fan art, really. So yeah, that'd be neat. Or some inspirations of the Story Wolf song. I think I touched on this before, but it's of the story itself. I'm been inspired a lot by young adult fantasy, sort of, in a way, but I'm mostly keeping it to like having a fairy tale feel, you know? That's why the names I gave them are so literal. Like, some people, I think, were like, oh, like, Scarlet's last name is Silly. Like, because it literally means, like, you know, I think Riding Hood And so you got Scarlet Riding Hood, Red Riding Hood kind of thing. And I'm like, well, that's kind of the point, because, you know, in fables and in, like, a lot of fairy tales, people are kind of named in a literal way. So I want to sort of emulate, like, a kind of a classic fairy tale approach, but also have a bit of, like, what is it? Like, I guess a bit of young adult fantasy in there, but it's not going to be anything major, you know? It's just, I want to keep the story as simple as possible. I was really inspired by this one short story, actually. That had to do with, like, fairies or fae folk. If any of you read a lot of young adult fantasy, you know that's, like, the big thing is fairies. Fairies are huge right now. And I'm all about that shit, so I eat it up. But some people do, you know, do them dirty, I guess, in a literal way. Looking at you, Sarah J. Maas. Like, you know, but for the most part, like, you know, Holly Black stuff, for example, like, it's like that dark fairy tale vibe, but, you know, with, like, a bit of modernity in there. Like, you know, it's, I say you know a lot, goddamn. But, you know, I did it again. Anyway. Yeah, so I'm influenced largely just fantasy, fairy tales, the juxtaposition of, like, young adult stuff with, you know, childhood fantasy stuff. I hope I'm making sense. I love your works, ooh. Yeah, thanks. I'm dyeing my hair right now. Oh, are you like me? Yeah, I watch YouTube stuff while I dye my hair too. So, yeah, hope it turns out well. Your hair. Oh, thank you guys for the love, Amanda, Carrie Ann. Thank you. Oh, tell your dog I say hi. You like Hatsune Miku? I love Hatsune Miku. I don't know. Love's a strong word, but I think there was a time I got into Vocaloid, back in high school. I listened to more, I think it's Luca was her name, and Kaito. Listen to more of that stuff. So I should revisit it, actually. What is your favorite fan art you've seen of your characters? Well, I like all fan art, but there's some stuff that's, like, compositionally, I'm like, wow, this person just did my characters a whole lot better than me. There are a couple of pieces, like, I don't know if I wish I just remembered everybody's names, their usernames. I wish I could just link to everything right now, but I've seen some really good stuff on both Tumblr and DeviantArt. There's this one really creepy Heidi piece with her, you know, face splitting open. That could literally be any piece, but, you know, there was this one that was, like, and had, like, I think it was more like gray and red kind of color composition. It was really nice. There's this one person did a Wolf Song art that had both dead and alive Scarlet, like 2 variations, and the composition was just, I guess, for lack of a better word, delicious. It was delicious, the composition. I was like, wow, why didn't I think of this? But yeah, any time I see any fan art, I'm living, and I'm always surprised, to say the least. Like, I'm always like, wow, someone drew my characters, oh my god. I'm never gonna be over it. But yeah, so literally everything. But if I had to be specific, it's the stuff that, like, either paints my characters in a different light, or, like, does something really cool, like, compositionally, that I'm usually really blown away by, but that isn't to, like, diminish any fan art that's, like, simple in composition, because, like I said, I just love everything. Do you play Dungeons and Dragons? If so, fave class race? I don't know if I have a fave. I've played it maybe a couple of times, and I was a half-elf bard named Dannerson Daniels. Maybe I'll draw him, actually. And he's basically everything I'm not, personality-wise. And he was really fun to play. I would love to play D&D again. It's been like probably a couple years. But yeah, I guess I'd say, because I'm biased, Bard's the way to go. Bards are great. Hi, I don't know if I can read that. Peachy Keen? Peachy Keen. Oh, okay. And Veronica Von Vamp. Hi. And hello to Larry. Dang it, you didn't mention mine. What? I don't know. Have I seen your fan art? I don't know. It's hard to keep track of everybody's, but maybe if you maybe I'll like look up your username and I'll find it. Who is your childhood crush? You mean in terms of media or real life? Because you won't know him. But okay. You know what? Actually, real talk. Childhood crush. Steve from Blue's Clues. That was, probably my first love, to be honest. Do you have a favorite OC? Well, to draw, my favorite is Heidi, but in terms of personality, it's my character Will from my comic project that I started, then stopped, then started again, then stopped again in Solitus. I think I have art of him. I have art of him up on Instagram and everywhere. But he's my favorite character of mine. But to draw, Heidi is my favorite character. Oh, well, like, Sapphire Bluey, I hope if I look up your stuff, I probably have it, because if I've seen your art, if I've, like, either shared it or I've commented on it, I've definitely seen it. It is printed. I want you guys to know that I print all the art people do, or that I've seen, and I keep it in a special little box. And when I move and I have the wall space, it's going to be on my wall. So if you've drawn something of my characters, oh wait, that's you, the one, the barfly I said? Oh my god, I have it on my wall. Nice. Yeah, so it's when I have more wall space, because initially I wanted to put everyone's art on my wall, but then I got a whole lot of art and not enough wall space. So when I move and I get the wall space, like if I have a studio space, my plan is to put everybody's fan art of my stuff on my wall. So if I didn't mention it here, know that, I definitely have it and I've definitely seen it. I just don't know which ones. And they're going to be on my wall in the future, probably near future. So yeah, feel good about that. Let's see. Actually, I might make some Heidi fan art. Awesome. When you do, please tag me so I can see it. I would love to see it. I thought it was Jareth from Labyrinth. Oh, yes, for sure. But the first piece of media ever, if we're talking like childhood, like it was, the first one was Steve from Blue's Clues, and then it was Jareth from Labyrinth. Don't be mistaken. Definitely still crushing on him hard, but the very first childhood crush was Steve from Blue's Clues. I'm not ashamed to say it. But yeah, it's and I think there was also this one character from an obscure movie. I don't know if any of you know it. It's Alice Through the Looking Glass, but it's a movie I think from like the 50s or the 60s. Like it. So obscure, but there's a character named Lester the Jester, and he was also a childhood crush of mine. I doubt anybody's gonna know what I'm talking about, but what happened? We are not receiving any data from your government. What? Oh my god. Okay, am I back on? Okay, I got a bit of like problems. Just let me know if you guys can hear me again. I want to know if I'm still, if this is still working. It says it's working, but there was a little bit of a blip. And now the status is bad again. Okay. Yeah, this connection is pretty bad. I might have to wrap up the stream in a bit if it's not working. So just anybody, if you could hear me, just give me confirmation to let me know I'm not talking to a wall or to nothing. In the meantime, yeah, I'm just gonna wait until somebody says something in the chat to confirm. Big oof on the stream buffering. Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so if it's working, if people can hear me, great. We shall resume. But if this keeps happening, I might have to wrap it up. So, I'm just gonna continue as I was. Anyway. Yeah, what was I saying? Lester the Jester. I'm sure if you Google it, maybe, oh man, I hope nothing weird comes up. But like, or Lester the Jester, Alice through the Looking Glass, you'll probably find something, I'm sure. But yeah, that was probably top 3 childhood crushes right there. Steve from Blue's Clues, Lester the Jester, and Jareth the Goblin King. Okay. Let's see. I'm actually gonna, okay. Let's see. I can hear you. Great. Awesome. Fantastic. I wish I knew how to work Tumblr, but I can't figure out. Oh, yeah. Tumblr can be complicated. But you could probably find stuff on Instagram, too, in terms of character stuff or other kinds of arts. You have moments of buffering, but buffering happens, but it seems fine for now. Okay, cool. Nice. Are you DC or Marvel fan? I've been asked this before. I'm both. Both is good, but to be honest, I prefer Image comics above everything else. Who was your first anime crush? Oh my god, of course it has to be Sasuke from Naruto. First anime crush. No, wait. No, yes. I'm thinking about the first, like, anime crush that I, like, actively, like, was like, oh man, like, really, like, crushing on. It would be Sasuke from Naruto, and then it was Gaara. And then it was L from Death Note. Yeah. Let's see, a couple. Oh yeah, the fan art that my buddy Aaron did for me. Yeah, I still have it. I look at it and it makes me smile. I think what like anybody like draws me with Jareth, it's like A+ right away. It's the buffering refreshed. Okay, cool. All right. So, I'm going to draw... Oh, man. I forgot about this pug. Oh, my goodness. Okay. I'm going to... Okay, what should I draw? I had an idea before, but it completely vanished. So, I'm going to ask the chat. It's those sickly eyes, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely it is. I mean, like, can relate. I have pretty sickly looking eyes. Hello, Jazzy Snazzy Pants. I think as I wait for new drawing requests, I'm gonna maybe try to draw my my D&D character from memory. Probably gonna fail miserably, but dropped frames detective. Well, detected. I cannot talk today. Yeah, so I think next time I do a stream, I'm gonna make sure that my connection is solid, that I have an assistant. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I'm gonna make sure to do all of that and be more prepared. But you know, with every experience, you know, comes I completely forgot my train of thought. I'm like getting so distracted by these notifications of how bad the quality is right now. So yeah, I might wrap this up pretty soon. I don't want to make you guys suffer with all the buffering. Thank you for saying hi. No problem. Hi, Sparkle Tisk. And hello, I don't know if I'm going to read your name right. Lenny Weech 110 dot enjoy. So. I can't remember how my freaking character looked. Oh my goodness. Don't worry about it, you're doing your best, thanks. I really am. I think he was definitely a sassy character, of course. Oh, he was a half-elf bard, so he had like the pointed ears. And he had kind of a ridiculous sort of top hat situation. Love to see your half-elf bard from me. Oh, hey! Thank you for the money. I was just drawing him. This is so weird. Maybe it's the delay or something, but like, it's like, okay, I was just drawing him anyway, but thank you. Thank you for the love, and thank you for the $5, lover of night. You're the real MVP of this stream today. Yeah, he's like, he's basically like a kind of like a flirty dude. I believe he is also a pansexual character. And he always kind of addresses himself with like using alliteration. Like he'll say stuff like, oh, like the dashing Danderson Daniels or the dynamic Danderson Daniels, stuff like that. Like he'll just enter a room and just like announce his presence with like a D word before the rest of his name. And he had curlyish, kind of long, pink hair, I believe. I gave him pink hair. And I think he had like stage makeup or something, but I can't remember what his eyes looked like. Oh yeah, and he had like this like, yeah, this like thing wrapped around his hat this? He had like this ridiculous top hat kind of situation going, because he was sort of like, he's a bard, but he has like this like presence of like a street magician. And can't remember. I really can't remember his outfit, but I'm gonna do my best here. Oh yeah, I think his hair was a little bit long in the back. I think he had like some kind of something like this under his eyes. Either like this or like this. I can't remember. Maybe it was like 2 dots like this. What else? He had long eyelashes. He was like a pretty boy kind of guy. And very confident. And I'm trying to remember, he had like some kind of accessories going on. Oh yeah, he had like an earring, I think. I don't know if it was like a little tiny skull earring or something, but he had some kind of accessories adorning his ears. He's very eccentric. Now I'm reminding me, I took some divination wisdom rolls in real life. Nice. Would you choose medieval times or steampunk? Oh, steampunk for sure. Yeah. I also had a big steampunk phase in high school. Steampunk is interesting, and what's cool about steampunk is it's very varied. Like in terms of music, like for the genre, like it's not really, it's like one of those sort of non-genres, right? Where it's like the genre exists, but there's no specific kind of sound for steampunk. The sound is what you think steampunk would sound like. So if you like steampunk, I'd recommend checking out Abney Park, I believe. Abney Park is the band name. They have some good stuff. Who would choose medieval times? It's a very bad place, especially for women. I mean, that's another reason why steampunk times, I mean, a little bit better for women, am I right? Do you have any advice on how to make a good suspenseful love story? Because I'm writing one on my 2 lesbian OCs, and I'm stuck when it comes to suspense. I think suspense is a little hard because you're relying on the reader not to be like 2 steps ahead, or to like, you know what I mean? To a good suspenseful love story. So love story, I guess it's a drama with some suspense. But any good love story, you have to first and foremost make your audience care about your characters first. Make sure they're fleshed out. They're not like one note. And like figure out what they're about and what their story's about. And I guess for drama, I'm not one to really write drama. Or like, I mean, but I think with anything, what matters the most, I think, or what people ultimately are looking for, is to care about your characters first. So I think, you know, figure what kind of story you want to tell, what kind of message you're trying to put out there, and what you want for your characters, and how much information you want your audience to know going in, and also, yeah, don't treat your audience or your readership like they're dumb or anything, you know? Like, reward them for figuring stuff out. If it's a suspense story, I'm not sure if I'm understanding your question completely. One is an angel and the other's a human. Oh, okay. Oh, so there's okay, I like that. I could already see that there's the tension. Well, if one's an angel, right, I assume that your story has some kind of rules in terms of how angels and people interact, and what angels do and all that, right? So figure out the I guess the mechanics of the world that this story is taking place in, and what the main conflict is for your characters, like why they can't be together, or how, or who's stopping them, or what's stopping them, what's preventing them, or what's the the main issue, I guess. I forget the term, but there's a term, the literary term for it, but the main issue, right? Like where they're at the beginning of the story and where you want them to be at the end of it. I think the rest will sort of fall into place, so to speak. I hope I'm making sense. I'm not like the best writer or anything, or I don't consider myself a writer first and foremost. But I think if your story, if the characters are compelling enough, I think people will care. It doesn't matter. The setting or any other aspect will sort of fall into place. And because if you can have like a super interesting setting, right? But if your characters are dull, people aren't going to care, right? So anyway, I'm going on a tangent now. Wow, I decided to shade and it looked like he gave him a beard. Maybe he did have a beard. I can't even remember. Man, this lovely bard, lovely. Yeah, thank you. I was wondering if you have heard of The Cruel Prince. Oh my god. Yes. Yes, I have. And I picked up The Wicked King a while ago, and I still need to read that. But yes, I have heard of The Cruel Prince. I have it. And oh my god, I love and hate Cardan. Like, the relationship is so, like, I guess it's problematic a little, but like Cardan as a character, I'm just like, I hate that I love that guy. And yes, I would absolutely draw Cardan. I will. I think I did doodle him a while back, but I never posted it because I wasn't, sure. But I think I will do that now. Homosexuality is forbidden in the Bible. See, that's an interesting angle to explore, the whole homosexuality aspect, right? If you're going to go really like into the like Bible stuff, right? Because there's different interpretations of what I guess angels can be. If you were to be in a dimension of your favorite show or anime, which one would it be? Oh goodness, I'm gonna put a pin on that question and really think about it, because I know there's like downsides to every kind of story setting. Like some settings are cool in theory. But then if you think about real life consequences and how it would actually be to live there, it's kind of like, eh. But, yeah, I'll put a pin in that question. You're welcome, Veronica. I hope I made sense. The second is so freaking suspenseful. Looking at it, it's not as thick as the first book, so I was like, why? But I was hoping that the content made up for having 100 less pages, it seems. But yeah, I'm excited to read it. Right now, I'm trying to finish a couple of books before. Lately, I've been a bit like, not reading as much. Even though I have a lot of free time being unemployed, it's like, you think that I'd have more time to enjoy things, but it's actually the opposite. I'm just constantly working on stuff and constantly just trying to find work and feeling guilty when I relax. So this stream is like a way of me being able to relax, but also feel like I'm doing something productive. But yeah, I'm definitely excited to read the Wicked King. And oh my god, and the third book is coming in November. Oh man. Yeah, I love Holly Black. I mean, there's been, I think, only one of her books that disappointed me, but she's solid. I love how she writes fairies and fairy stories. She's a big inspiration. Who's your favorite voice actors or anything? Voice actors? Oh man, there's a few. Matthew Mercer, Todd Habercorn, Laura Bailey. I could go on. Yeah, there's too many. Like, I could just be like, the whole cast of Critical Role. All of them. And more, basically. I don't think there's really any voice actors that, like, I don't particularly like. I'd have to, like, think about it. But basically, yeah, a lot of them are pretty solid. Werewolf or vampire, which do you prefer? Oh man. I think I lean a bit more towards a vampire, mostly because I think with vampires, like, you can do a lot with them. There's so many variations of vampires compared to werewolves. I mean, or maybe I'm wrong, but I think I've always been more drawn to vampires. But werewolves are pretty up there. Every time I hear the words fairies, I think of Crocodile. Oh my god, I want to draw him in like a young adult section of like a bookstore, like the young adult fantasy section, and him just like shouting fairies and pointing at like Sarah J. Maas, the whole Sarah J. Maas like books, or like just and Holly Black stuff, and like just pointing and just being like fairies. You'll hang the war on the werewolves? No, absolutely not. I was looking more into like lycanthropy stuff for Lycos' story, even though he's technically more of a literal wolf. There's some werewolf elements to his character, so I think that. But I also think it's a lot harder to depict werewolves in film in a convincing way compared to vampires. So I think that's partially why there's not a whole lot of werewolf media. That's just my theory, though. Anyway, what the break was I gonna draw? Oh yeah, I was gonna draw Carden in the Crow Prince. I'm gonna just I have to think about how he looked. I'm gonna give me a second. Okay. Let me just remember. It's been a while. He sort of has a... Oops. Okay, he's kind of like an angular face, right? I think what I like about the Crow Prince too is the main character, Jude, is not your... I don't want to be like, she's not like other girls, but like, she's not your typical young adult fantasy protagonist. She's a hard character to love, and I think that's what I find compelling about her. And like, just her descent into like, who she is, and her, like, the relationship dynamic with her twin sister and her other sister. And anyway, like, I totally recommend this series, by the way, if anybody is into reading. I find the fairies are always like, I think young adult books in general, the love interest guy or handsome people, they always go on about the cheekbones and the jawline. So I'm always just picturing really sharp cheekbones and a pointy jaw, or like a very strong jaw. So let me see. Oh, you guys are having your own conversation about Lord of the Rings here. That's cool. Okay, so Carden has like hair that's sort of like, I don't know, like this is gonna be, I guess, my version of him, but I'll do some legit fan art one day. I know he has like a thing he wears on his head at some point, but maybe I'll figure it out. Just, it's hard to remember. It's been a while since I read the book. It's got like picture it kind of like, sort of like messy, but also proper kind of thing. I don't know if I'm making sense. And like, maybe he's got like sideburns, I don't know. I hope I'm doing him justice. I hope I'm like being a little bit accurate, but I'd have to like read the book for to really know. But no. Well, maybe I'll make his jaw a little bit. I'm like trying to maybe somebody wrote what he looks like. I've been drawing digitally for 4 years and I don't see any improvement in my line art. How do you line art? Oh, that's a good question. I'm still trying to get better at line art. Honestly, it's practice makes better, and if you find that you haven't been seeing any improvement in terms of, I don't know if it's line quality, because maybe you, depending what program you're using, if you're like me and you have shaky hands, and you can't super draw like straight lines, or like you find your line art quality or your line quality as not good, consider maybe the tablet you're using, or playing with the stroke settings a bit until like you have better line quality. But if in terms of like just drawing, it's just, all I can say is practice, really. He has a tail. I remember that. I remember he has like kind of like it was like a black lion tail. Cardin has, I think. So you create art as a full-time job. I wish, kind of. I'm trying the freelance thing right now, being a freelance artist again, since I'm unemployed. So I guess you could say I do create art as a full-time job. That kind of, I would say it's living the dream, but the tricky thing about freelance is you're kind of finding work and it's not always consistent. But yeah, in a manner of speaking, I do. Dany, would you choose in a blonde battle Legolas or Jareth? Like in terms of combat, or just pitting them against each other for aesthetics or just looks? Because I don't know. Well, I guess I'm biased because I love Labyrinth so much. I would have to say Jareth, but in terms of combat, I don't know. I don't know who would win. I think maybe Legolas would in terms of combat, but then again, Jareth is a tricky dude. So, do you know when the first chapter of the song will be published? It's hard to say right now because I'm still working on writing the script. But I'll be sure to like update more periodically outside of Patreon too about it. And when the first chapter is ready, I'll definitely try to post it as many places as I can, just to let everybody know like when it's coming out. But yeah, patrons will definitely know about it first, and they'll get like a PDF version of it, and a PDF of like the whole comic when it's done. But it will also be available to read on Webtoon. That's the platform that I'm picking. So, but yeah, I'll definitely let everybody know when that time comes. Okay, is Cardin... I don't know if his nose is more pointed or... thinner than this. I hope I'm doing this character justice. Every character I draw just looks tired. And I mean same. Okay, wait, I gotta go back into this chat and see if, choose Jareth. Passion battle. Thank you, Ali. Thank you. I don't know if, like... Yeah. What is his head? He kind of, he had like a sort of... What was it? It was like a... This kind of feathery shoulder thing going near like the latter part of the book. It was like... It's like this, I think. I'm kind of half-assing these feathers, obviously, but I think he looked like this. Well, maybe he had a little bit more... His hair's more messy. I think that this is... I think this is kind of what he was wearing. And I don't know what his hair was. He had a thing on his head, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. But I'm not sure, so I'm not gonna attempt his headpiece. But, yeah, I think that... Yeah, so here we got Carden, and this is Dannerson Daniels. Completely unrelated. I'm gonna just fix his eyes a little bit. Yeah, there we go. What would your reaction be if Jareth became obsessive toward you, Dany? What would you do? I'd be like, wow, David Bowie, you're alive. I don't know. It would be a problem. I have a boyfriend, so yeah. I love my boyfriend, so I'm not gonna be like, bye, and go with Jareth. Like, as much as I love Jareth the Goblin King, and I just want good things for him, despite, you know, his shady behavior, Jareth's shady behavior, to be specific, with all, you know, him kidnapping babies and shit, I would ultimately... If he's all obsessive, even if he was like, oh, please, I'll do everything, I would be like, you know, but my boyfriend's pretty great. No, thank you. That's commitment, ladies and gentlemen. Back to that problem with the line art, I have always been using big brushes and the same kind of brush, so that might be the problem. Yeah, definitely experiment with different brush types. There's also, if for both Clip Studio Paint and Photoshop, you could find a variety of different brushes for free too, to try out. I tend to use like the same kind of brush too for my line arts, and I find that it does affect the line quality. Certain brushes just aren't that good for line art, so just play around and you know, practice and find, you'll definitely find the right kind of brush for you for lines. Is it just me or is this video lagging? There's video be lagging. Pen tablet without screen display. What brush do I use right now? Right now I'm using this G pen on Clip Studio Paint, but I definitely play around with the sensitivity. I just like I use a Huion tablet. I don't use a touch screen either. So definitely through the application of your whatever pen tablet you're using, maybe test around the sensitivity and stuff. I know with Clip Studio they do like a there's like a sensitivity test before you what's the word, integrate your pen to the program. So yeah, so definitely just test your pen pressure and and also I think you can go into the brush settings too and play around with like even in Photoshop you could just check the strokes and like how sensitive that is or how much grain there is, or yeah, you could definitely like customize it to your liking, I'm sure. I think it's the same in Clip Studio, although I haven't really played around with the settings too much. Have you watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? I started it a while ago and I haven't continued it, sad to say. I am meaning to continue it at some point. There's a lot of anime and shows I gotta catch up on, but I just don't allow myself to relax ever. So we'll see. But I do like it though. It's a fun series. Let's see. Oh. All right. Okay, what shall I draw now? I think I'll draw maybe one more thing, and then we'll wrap up the stream for today, I think, because like I said, I don't want you guys to have to deal with this lag too much. Let me just check the quality of the stream. Right now it's good, but it's temperamental, so we'll see. I feel like you should draw Legolas. I don't know how he got brought up in this stream, but sure. Okay. I'm just drawing like pointy-eared people today. I'm gonna look up a reference though, because I'm definitely not gonna be able to draw him by heart. Can you draw the Duke dancing with Scarlet? Like from the Vampire series, Dancing with Scarlet? Oh, ooh. Draw Lycos being sexy. Oh my gosh, okay, what am I gonna do now? I'm gonna have to make space is what I'm gonna do. Draw all these things. Okay. Okay, I don't know if I'm going to be able to draw all these things, but I will certainly try. So for now, I'll do like a quick Legolas, I guess. Yeah, circle first thing. He's got like a, if we're going based off of Orlando Bloom, he's got a pretty square jaw. here. Okay. Sorry for being quiet. I'm just like, it's hard for me to do to draw and talk at the same time, but I can. So I'm wondering how Lord of the Rings of all things got brought up in this stream. I'm gonna probably have to look back and see how that happened. Not that I'm complaining, I like Lord of the Rings. I'm gonna just make him look to the side. Exaggerate my eyebrows a bit. I think this is I don't know if this is a good likeness of Orlando Bloom, but just look at big can't. And there we go. It made you draw. Guys say, wait, this is true, despite me saying, oh, I love drawing women, asks to draw dudes. No, it's fine though. It's good practice. It's perfect house. Yeah, okay. I'm glad. Alright. That's one Legolas down. Cool. Okay, let me just... I think what I'm gonna do is... This is all on the same layer, right? Pretty much. God damn it. Did not learn from my... Literally the same mistake. Okay. Just gonna... Let's scale these bad boys. And which one is this one? And gonna move him. I don't know the shortcut to like transform things, so I'm just doing everything very manually. And then got it. Okay. Just gonna put him here. Cool. Alright, now we got room. New layer. Let's get it. Alright. Hi, Dasps, FNFs. Welcome to the stream. Okay, so we had that. We had Duke and Scarlet, and we had, what was it? Lycos being sexy? Lycos being sexy. Okay. Alright. What do I have the time to draw? I have about, I think I got maybe 10-20 minutes left here before I gotta wrap up the stream, so I think I'm just going to, I'll draw Duke as is. You can switch Duke with Missy. Oh, okay, interesting. Okay, we'll do that. I think I'll, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw Missy just as is, maybe not with Scarlet. I'm trying to factor in what I have time for, and I'll draw Lycos being sexy, whatever that means. However that turns out. I think that's what I got the time to do, so yeah. So I'm gonna draw Missy. I'm gonna find a reference, so I want to do that character justice. Okay. I think this is gonna be the first time I've ever drawn her, which I don't know how I haven't drawn fan art of Daria's characters sooner, but I'm gonna rectify that now. Dang it. Okay. You know what? Fuck it. Yeah, I'll have them like I'll draw Missy maybe caressing Scarlet's cheek if I can. Let's see if I can make good time and do that. Okay. I think I'm gonna sketch this out first. Go really light. She gives some pretty long ears, so trying to plan out this drawing better. I would super chat again, but I need to save some of my months. No, that's absolutely, you don't feel obligated at all. Like, honestly, thank you for the super chats just that you gave. Like, that was fucking awesome. And that's gonna help me for sure. And yeah, it was really cool of you. So yeah, and thank you for the thought. Oh boy, it's starting. How much contact do you to Daria? What do you mean, like, do we talk? Because we don't. I don't believe we've met or been introduced, if that's your question. I just know of her work and I'm a fan. It's just like when Lycos grabbed Scarlett's hair, remember that? Yeah, I'm kind of, you know, Scarlett's just constantly being seduced by people, I don't know. It's just how it is. Obviously, I think I'm going to give her a bit more agency in the comic, but I mean, we'll see. I'm kind of happy to be drawing some girls. Especially Missy. Missy's actually pretty fun to draw. I should draw her again sometime. I'm not even done, but I'm already like, yay. Probably because it's like a female character. It's probably why I'm having a good time, but still, I like her design a lot. Yeah, I mean, talking to each other. Yeah, no, we've never spoken. I mean, it'd be cool if we could one day. I don't know what I'd say. I'd just be like, hey, I like your work. I think your animations are really cool. Like, I don't know. But yeah, she's pretty cool. Like, you know, one day, if we could meet, that'd be nice. If you have regular... Yeah, you know, honestly, like, even though I'm broke as heck right now, I'm still, there's like a couple of artists that I've been still like sort of supporting anyway, or at least sending like $1 their way, because it's just like, and if I could, there'd be like plenty more artists I'd love to support, or like just want to see more content from, you know? Especially since I know the struggle, but it's just a nice feeling to kind of, you know, help out on something that you like, help it grow, and yeah, just give money to people who make stuff that you like to see. It's a nice feeling. On either when you're giving or receiving, I find I like feeling like, cool, I gave $1 this day, and they're using it to do things. Oh man, I don't understand what the chat's saying right now, but that's okay. I'm just gonna continue. At this rate, I don't know if I can have time to draw Lycos being sexy, but you know what, I will still try. I'll spend a bit more time on the stream to do that, because I like to follow through. I don't know what this expression is actually. I think she should be more like more like gasp. Oh no, dropped frames detected. She's also part of the Pointy Ears Club. I should rename this stream Pointy Ears and Chill. This is turning out to like this is almost becoming like a whole illustration. Ah. But don't say I don't deliver. Let's see. Okay. Okay, I think. Wait, you know what? Maybe I could still kill two birds with one stone. Or feed two birds with one scone. I think... Man, I'm just adding to this and adding to this. I'm gonna just... I think in the background I'll make Lycos being sexy in like the background. Okay. I don't know. Okay, while I figure that out, I'm gonna just I can't draw hands. This hand is horrible. I apologize. I'm just gonna check on the chat. Whoa, what is happening here? Oh no. Okay. Thank God. Okay, let me see. Okay, everything's good now. Sorry, I was just checking up on the quality of the stream. It's still kind of on and off. But anyways, let's see. Let me just look at the chat. I demand a crossover project with you and Dari for Vampire and Wolf. I mean, I'm down. She's like in a completely different league from me, I feel. But I'm still down. I think it'd be delightful. I think, yeah, I think our characters would get along. And it'd be fun to just sort of come up with a situation where that would happen. But, yeah. Like a mini YouTube video would be nice, or get a cameo in the upcoming episode. Like, I mean, if she wants, if she likes, I don't even know if she's even aware of or looks at or likes my stuff, but, you know, it'd be cool if, like, that ever were to happen, if she'd be down to collaborate on something. I'm definitely open to that. So, you know, maybe one day. I just woke up and saw the stream. How late am I? Oh, very late. I'm almost going to wrap up this stream. I should have wrapped up sooner, but I am a completionist. I'm going to finish what I started and finish the last thing somebody asked me to draw, and then we're going to wrap this up. What do you use when you draw? I'm trying to find a good tablet. I use a Huion H610 graphics tablet, and it serves me fine. And it's a good cheap alternative that works well. Okay. Just gonna try to finish this drawing. I'm curious, are most of you guys who are watching the stream right now, do most of you draw? Or do all of you draw? Or is it like mostly artists or half connoisseurs or people who like art? I'm curious. What's your drawing program? Right now I'm using Clip Studio Paint Pro, if that question was directed to me, but if not, there you go, people know. I usually use Photoshop though. I do, okay. Aspiring animator. Oh, awesome. Yeah, for animations I use TV Paint, but I need to learn Toon Boom because that's what the industry standard is. Although Toon Boom it's kind of expensive and not as user-friendly, I'm still gonna attempt it, but I recommend TV Paint as a good, like, user-friendly animation learning software, if anybody is curious about that. I like to draw, but I'm not very good. Practice makes better. I do a lot of trying, you could say, having drawing all of my D&D characters. I would like to say I'm a freelance artist. Oh, neat, awesome. Channel y'all can see and review, could use views. Okay, cool. I'll check out your channel later if I can. Hobby artist. Getting paid is the problem. Oh, yeah. The struggle is real. Remember I drew that portrait of two hands that have been thorn vines around reaching out. Yeah, yes, I definitely remember that. That was really good. I draw anime. Yeah. I feel like everybody at some point has or is still valid. Okay, well that's interesting. I'm gathering that most of you guys are artists or like to at least draw, which is great. So, I mean, everybody, you know, definitely keep it up, and yeah, and I hope you guys, even if it's just a hobby thing, you know, I hope you guys get enjoyment and fulfillment from it. That's like really deep. Out of nowhere, I was like, hey, well, I hope you know, I hope you're happy. But yeah, I mean, I do mean that though, because I know so many people that. Well, everybody starts drawing at some point when they're a kid, right? And then at some point they see someone else or something and it discourages them and then they stop doing it. And I find that, like, really sad. So I'm gathering you guys still do it, and that's pretty awesome. Because everybody and anybody can draw. You know, it's about, you know, ultimately it's about wanting to draw and wanting to improve and wanting to keep at it. And I think that if you're still drawing, that means that nothing has discouraged you, and that's great. Okay, so, oh yeah, she has like a fishnetty thing, right? Okay, yeah, and she has like a little, anyway. I definitely want to do better fan art, or like a more like, you know, I guess, completed, finished, polished looking fan art of stuff at some point. Because her characters, so far, I mean, Missy alone is pretty fun to draw, so I definitely want to draw her again. Also, I'm just really curious about where her series is gonna go, you know? I find myself like really looking forward to like everything she puts out, and just I like what she's done with everything so far. These are some half-assed fishnet patterns, but that's fine. Anyway, I gotta draw one sexy Lycos. I'm thinking I'm gonna draw him in the background of this image. And then I'm gonna wrap things up. Let's see. I'm just gonna check the chat. I draw inspiration from the artists around me, so this helps. Yeah, awesome. Well, I'm glad that I'm inspiring and like you're getting inspiration from where you can. Because I mean, same, right? Every time I find that whenever I'm like, ugh, I don't feel like doing art, or ugh, I'm shit. I look at other people's stuff and their process, and it like lights a fire under my ass, you know? Because it's easy to look at it and be like, oh, I can't do that, but it's another thing to kind of reframe it and be like, oh man, I want to be as good as that person, or oh, I like this person's technique, and learning from them. Like, honestly, just absorb everything and and just do the thing, you know? Send this drawing to Tori as fan art and maybe they'll get attention to you. I don't know. I don't want to like be like, pay attention to me, Tori. Notice me, senpai. I mean, when I do, maybe not this drawing, but I'll do definitely just for fun, just because I want to, not because I want her attention or anything. I definitely just want to draw a nice fan art. And, you know, if she sees that and it delights her, awesome. But I'm not gonna, you know, be like, look at my stuff, please. If she looks at it cool, but, you know, no pressure. I'm better with liner if I use my fingers on my iPad 2 mini than with a webcam tablet. What the hell? Oh, yeah, you gotta like, you just gotta, I know it's like everybody says this, but you gotta practice, that's all. And sometimes it's also hard for some people to look at a screen and draw at the same time. People sometimes have an easier time with like screen tablets or the on-screen tablets because it's more natural to them. Because I know for me in the beginning when I was drawing digitally with a tablet, it was like a weird adjustment for me because I'm like staring at a screen and it's almost like blind contour drawing, except you're seeing what you're doing because you're so used to looking down at a paper, right? That looking at a screen and drawing is like, at first is like so weird, but after a while you get used to it. How do you find doing animation at school? Because I want to apply for uni, but I'm a bit scared, but I still want to learn. If you want to learn and if you learn best in like, a learning environment and when you're like attending lectures and stuff, then, definitely go through with it. If you can afford it, like, absolutely. For me, I learned quite a bit in my animation program, but I found that I was also getting discouraged a whole lot from doing what I wanted to do because my stuff looked a bit too conventional. Either it was like too Disney or too anime or something, and that really discouraged me. And I find that sometimes some teachers will try to mold you a certain way instead of helping you grow into the kind of artist you want to be, if that makes sense. Like, it's one thing to, absolutely learn the fundamentals of anything, right? You need a good base to make a good, like, building, right? But some teachers will be like, oh, that I've seen that before, that's not original enough, and that shit's just, for me, it's unproductive, and I was getting tired of that. But I still managed to learn like a lot, and I would recommend it again if you can afford it, or if that's like something that is helpful for you. It's how you learn best. But if you could teach it on your own, and by on your own I mean like looking up tutorials, because there's also lots of online tutorials for stuff and lots of resources. So if you can learn by that way, at home, and you're like disciplined enough, and that's, and that's obviously more affordable for you, then yeah, definitely explore that. Or both. Because I found that even though I went to school for this, I was still like encouraged to look outside and pull other resources. A lot of teachers would be like, oh, here's this online resource, look at that, while, also attending lectures. And it's like, well, this is stuff I could have found on my own, So just, if you have good teachers, then you'll learn a lot. Because I've had some great teachers, but I've also had some shit teachers. And either way, you're paying to be there, right? So it sucks when you get like a shit teacher, or a teacher you just don't vibe with. Or again, isn't like helping you grow, but more like stunting your growth a bit, or trying to mold you into like what they think is good art, or it's just, do your research, and like, if you go to like a credible, like if you find like a credible university for this stuff and you can afford it, then absolutely give it a shot. But if it's not for you, then don't fret. There's plenty of other ways to teach yourself how to do things and learn animation on your own. Like when I did the Wolf Song animatic, no one taught me that. I went and I observed how other people did animatics, and yeah, it wasn't exactly a true animatic, or like I didn't completely understand it, but I got a sense of how to do it by looking it up and seeing like what's what. So yeah, it's a both. So it's a mixture of like of teaching yourself and seeking out like resources to help you grow as an animator, as an artist. And at the same time, like, learning like fundamentals and stuff. I hope I'm making sense. Yeah. So, yeah. So don't like, I guess don't be too scared about it, because what's scary about uni ultimately is just, fuck it. Like, is this class gonna be like, good, or am I gonna vibe with teacher? Don't be like me and like stick through it anyway, even if it isn't working for you. Like, because then like your GPA suffers, right? Like, you can always, there's a period where you can drop classes if you're not vibing with a teacher, if you don't like what something's about, and absolutely do that. But yeah, just don't be like me and be stubborn like, well, I'm in it now. Because that's what I did for a couple of classes and I hated it. But yeah, so a good like majority of the animation classes I took were I definitely learned a lot, and it was definitely worth it. So anyway, I went on a big tangent. I didn't draw anything. I'm gonna try to draw now, but first I'm just gonna get other stuff. In painting class, I'm gonna do a portrait of a photo I have, my dog, and my art teacher is a lover of dogs, so this will be good training for me. Art shouldn't be made by rules. Art should be about how you feel and anything you imagine. Yeah, because, well, first of all, good on the dog thing. Secondly, absolutely. Yeah, it should be, art is subjective, right? So it should be like anything goes. There's no rules for art, really, right? But there are fundamentals. So if you want to improve in a certain area of art, obviously you can't just be like doing the same thing and then wondering why you're not improving, right? You have to learn like the fundamentals. Look like, you know, for example, if you want to get better at figure drawing, like draw from real life, study some anatomy. And it's like, it's not going to be like the most fun thing in the world, but it's going to help you. Everything's a tool, right? So yeah, so just, yeah, you could do what you want, absolutely, and how you want it. But also, if you want to, you know, improve your skill set, then you should also, like, you know, be open to learning, like, the, you know, quote-unquote rules of certain techniques, right? Okay, so how am I going to draw sexy Lycos? Okay, I'm gonna just do a quick thing because I really have to wrap this up, and I'm sorry, it's gonna be really stupid probably. Oh my god, I think I did draw sexy Lycos one time when I live streamed back at Otakuthon, not this year but last year. Yeah, it was he was sort of like, what was it? He was like on the side like this sort of pose or whatever, like, you know what I mean. Where like this kind of pose, and he was sort of had a basket right here, and then somebody said that I should make it a t-shirt, and I didn't. I think I definitely will. Okay. Yeah, so you know what? I won't draw sexy Lycos, but you know what I will do? I'll take that design I did, or that sketch I did way back when. I don't know if any of you know what I'm talking about, but you will. And I'll make it a shirt. Yeah, I'll make it a shirt like I promised a while ago, or like I said I would. I'm going to follow through with that. So, that being said, I guess I'll wrap up the stream now. But I promise I will deliver on a sexy Lycos at some point. And yeah. So, that being said, thank you all for tuning in. Wait, I feel like oh my god, I'm melting of hotness. I feel like I remember seeing yeah, it's coming to you, I'm sure. Wow. Look at this. Look at all I drew today in these 2 hours. We drew mostly dudes. It was the pointy-eared stream today. But I had fun, and I hope you guys got something out of this. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream, despite the lags and the technical difficulties and all of that. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for Lover of Night for sending me money. That was awesome. And for the suggestions for the doodles. And good luck on your endeavors, Dany. Looking forward to your next one. Thank you. Thank you so much. And yeah, hope you guys are having a good semester if you're in school, or just a good day if you're, well, today's the Saturday. Or you're just having a good September, good fall. And yeah, and I'll see you guys next time. Maybe I'll do this again, and hopefully I'll go a bit more smoothly, and I'll have help. So yeah, go werewolf. Nice talking to you again, Dany. Nice talking to you guys. Okay. And now there's no data. It's lagging again. So with that, I bid you all good day, good night, whatever time zone you're in. Bye.